So it was the furthest I could take myself out of the comfort zone while still having a bit of a safety net. And I feel like if I hadn't done that here, I don't know when I would have gotten the opportunity to do that.
We started in the very top in Hanoi, and we actually trickled our way all the way down to the bottom in Ho Chi Minh City. So we got a good landscape of the entire country of Vietnam.
You know, you can read all you want about, say, guerrilla insurgency during the American War in Vietnam, but it is a completely different experience when you go to the tunnel complex at Cu Chi and you start crawling through tunnels. And you can imagine, you know, what it must have been like as a Vietnamese person to have lived underground for weeks and months at a time, or what it might have been like to be an American soldier fighting against an enemy like that.
Just huge craters where bombs had been dropped, and you could see portions of tunnels leading back into the ground, but it was kind of surreal to see, and all of the military equipment that had been left over, planes and tanks and stuff, just there.
These types of experiences where you can sort of feel and smell and hear and taste the country, it just puts a completely different spin on the kinds of things that you learn in the classroom.
We were kind of focusing on two main aspects of Vietnam. It was kind of the history route and then also the political economy route. For the history route, in the American imagination of what Vietnam is, most people think of Apocalypse Now and Forrest Gump, and that's kind of as far as it goes. But what we wanted to see was okay, how is it for the people who are actually living there and experiencing it in real time? And how is Vietnam kind of understanding their memory of the war? And that kind of turns into the political economy stuff, because Vietnam is one of the fastest growing nations in the world, also one of the most rapidly developing nations in the world. So it was kind of us seeing how are they recovering from the war, and how are they kind of becoming a key market dominator in that region.
At the end of the day, the experience of going to a place like Vietnam and seeing what other parts of the world are like, having the opportunity to interact with people who are very different than you are, is an extremely important confidence-building experience. And we have students who have gone on our Asia study tours who do all kinds of things. They go to medical school, they work for the United Nations, for the International Criminal Court, they work for NGOs, state and local government, and I think that a lot of them would point to experiences like this one, where they got a chance to go outside of the country to kind of build that confidence that they need in order to succeed in graduate school or professional school or just at their jobs.
Students who may be apprehensive to go on these trips, I think they should just go for it. It's natural to be a little nervous about stepping so far out of your comfort zone or traveling across the world with people who you've maybe known for a month or two, but that's just part of the adventure, and you learn so much more that way, I think. How you work with people or working with other cultures, and like I said before, learning to navigate a different way of life and a different system is really important.